Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why I decided to get my CPA license versus a master's and why I chose public accounting versus private. If you want to see more of these videos, make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. So without further ado, let's get started. So number one is that in public accounting, there is a promotion cap when you don't pass all 4 parts of the exam. So I'll just give you a quick example, and it really does depend on each firm's policy. But when I was working at Big Four, for instance, in tax, you're not able to be promoted to manager, and for audit, you're not able to be promoted to senior if you don't have all 4 parts of your CPA exam completed. This does not mean that you need to have your actual physical license, but it is talking about the actual exam parts. Most likely by the time you're a senior or manager, you already have all of the work experience needed to get the license. Quick tip that a lot of people don't talk about, but if you're in tax, see if you can become an enrolled agent. In the meantime, if you really can pass all 4 parts before you are up for manager. This is actually something that I've seen someone do in order to get promoted to manager. This is just something temporary for being an enrolled agent. Later on, it is important to go back and finish the remaining parts of the exam. It is better to pass your CPA exam earlier than later because you do end up getting more responsibility as you move up the ladder. You definitely don't want not passing your CPA exam to be the only reason why you can't get promoted. So definitely keep that in mind. Number 2 is to make yourself more marketable, whether that is in your existing job or when you're looking for a new job. Having a CPA is a form of certification. Many people know how tough these exams are. For instance, most of these exams have a pass rate of 50% or less. So every 1 person that passes, 1 person fails. So having a license or even passing the exams shows that you have some level of expertise in the accounting field. So this will look very favorably on your resume as well as in the conversations that you have during your interviews. Number 3 is to increase knowledge through CPE, which is continuing professional education. So once you are licensed in a state, you do need CPE. This could be courses on ethics, auditing, accounting, or non-accounting related courses, which allows you to keep up on what's going on in the industry. So why is it important to have CPE credits or to even maintain the knowledge that you have in accounting? And the reason why is because we are known as trusted advisors. As CPAs, they advise their clients on a wide range of important accounting issues. They're designed to maintain credibility and transparency in the financial world that have a material impact on businesses and their stakeholders. So in comparison to receiving a master's, you learn everything and you move on. There's nothing that you really need to do to maintain that master's. Whereas when you are licensed, you do have to continue to learn new things in order to keep up with what the industry is doing. So next, let's talk about the monetary reasons. The first thing that they'll pay for most likely is the CPA exam courses. So that ranges about $2,000 to $3,000. So they'll either give you a discount or they'll actually pay for the whole part. So when you pay for the actual exam, they'll also reimburse you for that as well. For me, when I took it, it cost me about $1,000 for all 4 parts. And they'll only reimburse you for possibly the first attempt that you try passing the CPA exam. If you pass the CPA exam within a time frame, they will also pay for a bonus. It really depends on each firm, but when I was working at Big Four, it was $5,000 if you passed within 1 year, $3,000 if you passed in 2 years, and $1,000 if you passed within 3 years. So next I'm going to be talking to you about my personal reasons why I decided not to get a master's in either taxation, accounting, or business administration. And the reason why is, particularly in the accounting field, no one really asks you on a day-to-day if you have your master's. That's not a common question that is typically asked. For the most part, people are asking you whether or not you have your CPA license. That goes to show a little bit about how the fact that they don't really care as much if you don't have your master's. If you have a bachelor's of science in accounting or have a concentration in accounting, they don't typically care if you have further education besides your bachelor. Getting a master's does allow you to gain knowledge and you do have networking available to you, but for me personally, I felt like I could do that all in the job that I was currently in. So for instance, I do a lot of my learning on the job that doesn't really require me to study for anything in order to understand the concepts. I find that networking on the job, as well as learning and doing the training, maintaining my CPA license, all of that gives me the knowledge in order to do well at what I do. Some states require 150 credits to sit for the CPA exam, so it does make sense for people to possibly go for your master's to get that extra 30 points in order to sit for the exam. But for me, I already had 150, so I didn't really see the incentive to go back to school if I already had that 30 credits of accounting related and non-accounting related credits. Another thing is that companies will typically pay for you to get your master's if it's related to your job. Companies reimburse employees $5,250 per year to continue their education, but one thing that they don't really talk about is that benefit has to vest. So you would have to work for X amount of years in order for you to have that money essentially for free. If you leave the firm before that, you technically have to pay back a portion of that money of the unvested amount as well. I don't really see myself paying $30,000 or more for a master's when I do most of the learning on the job, the networking on the job, as well as the knowledge that I receive from maintaining my license. So that is part of the reasons why I had decided not to go back to school. So for a master's, most tax professionals would pursue an MST, Master's in Taxation. If you're in auditing, Master's in Accounting, and if you want something a lot broader, an MBA, which is a Master's in Business Administration. I also want to talk about the software that I use. So I use Becker Self-Study. I just prefer studying in my room and not in the classroom setting. I also like to set my own pace when studying, so that's something that I decided to do. Everyone has their own preferences, so definitely take a look at all the options out there and choose the best one that fits your preferences. Lastly, I'm going to be talking to you about why I chose public accounting versus private and why I'm still in public accounting. One of the main reasons why is because public accounting drives the revenue, whereas private accounting is a cost to the firm. So let me break it down for you. In public accounting, the main service that you're providing is accounting services. And as accountants, you are bringing in revenue within the firm. Versus in private accounting, you are a department of a company, and so you are technically the cost of that firm. The second reason why is public accounting will try to innovate how they do accounting. They don't just stick to what they did last year. They do focus on implementing new technologies to have a greater efficiency, whereas in private accounting, you really do have to do that research on your own, as well as get approvals from many different levels and different departments. And the last reason is that in most public accounting firms, they will do in-house training to make sure that you're up to date in a lot of the accounting matters. However, in private, they almost expect you to already know that information and come in to the firm with that. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more of these videos, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!